Hey Aries, this is your general tarot reading for Aries Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of November. Aries, let's do as we always do here. We'll shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energies that you may feel throughout the month. So, we're leaving October, entering November. Oh, as the first card hops out. Now this is interesting because we're leaving the full moon in Taurus, earth sign, earth card, that happened for you in the second house. I'll just lay that card down there. And what that may have meant for you, Aries, is that money may have been on your mind. There may have been some stress or worry or some issue regarding even perhaps your belief around money came to mind. And it was almost like you finally had to deal with something. You finally had to face some issue regarding money. Now, it could have been that you looked at the money around you or your finances, your financial situation and said, I really need to clean this up and sort this out. Really need to get a better handle on that. But mostly, it was more about your attitude towards money. And not just your attitude towards money that needed to really be vented and really to be brought out to be looked at, but it was your attitude to do with your self-esteem, your self-worth, and basically worth in value. So the big questions that might have come up is, do you value yourself enough? Have you been selling yourself short? Your skills, your talents, you, the very essence of you, have you been undervaluing that and not appreciating it as much as you really ought to, Aries? But that's going to change because you've had that sudden realization, like Mercury in Sagittarius in the 9th house was trying to bring to your mind, what is it that you believe about yourself? What is the script? What is the narrative? What is the story that you tell yourself that maybe keeps you locked in a position where you feel undervalued, underappreciated, and like I said, always selling yourself short in relationships, in your career, in your friendships, undervaluing yourself over and over and your talents. But that's changing because you've seen this, you've seen the story that you tell yourself, you've seen how it doesn't work for you anymore, you've seen how this belief about this whole underestimation of your very core self has to change. And you're going to put action on that. You are going to change it. You're going to dig deep. But it's going to change with the sun in the 8th house in Scorpio. This is you, like last month, being very analytical, being psychoanalytical, going deep beyond the surface, going beyond that which is superficial in order to find out what it is that you now believe about yourself. Now, it's also shining on your long-range finances. So the fear that you had about value, self-value, could have been reflected financially, as I said, undervaluing yourself in your career. And you're going to change that because the sun wants you to make some long-range plan, some long-term plan to fix this and to get yourself maybe out of debt. So that's one good thing that's happening there. You'll be focused on that. And to believe again that it's possible to get power back in your life, to get something valuable back in your life and to show it off. So it's about you now believing that you have the power in yourself to do whatever it is that you want to do, Aries. And it's wonderful when you get that. It's like stoking the fires all over again to get the steam engine moving. So it's a wonderful, wonderful energy. Now, sun in the 8th house. A few things could happen here too. You might be called upon by other people who are going through a bit of a crisis, maybe for your help and assistance. Maybe they're going through a particular bad patch, maybe financially, maybe some heavy psychological stuff happening to them where they may be feeling a bit unlike themselves. So you may be called in to maybe be a support for them somehow. Now, that is the wonderful aspect of that. But there's also a little bit of a test to this too, Aries. So you have to be on your toes here. You may also see people approaching you, asking you to borrow money, asking you to help them out in some situation. And something stops you in your tracks when you say, wait a minute, hold on. Didn't this happen before? Did you not learn the lesson from the last time? How is it that you're repeating patterns of behavior? And now you want me to fix a mess that you've actually caused because you don't want to do the right thing, or you don't want to change some bad habits in some way, but yet now I have to bail you out? So there's an element here of you being quite discerning, separating what needs your support and care and what doesn't. And also showing great care to somebody by stepping back and saying, look, I love you, you're my friend, you're my partner, you're somebody I really care about, but I'm going to have to step back and let you fix this mess yourself. So it is that moment of being able to distinguish between who deserves what, who deserves your time and who doesn't. And that will also give you a kind of a bit of power again, where you don't feel disempowered by other people's dramas, by other people's low vibrational shit, essentially. That you have the confidence now to say, I don't need to help you. Just because you're family doesn't mean I'll always be there no matter what. I will be there for you, but you're going to have to help yourself at some point. Maybe me caring for you is by not going in and fixing this mess for you. Do you see what I mean, Aries? Maybe people just expect you to help them when they really should be helping themselves. So watch out for that, okay? Now, things that are happening this month. Uranus retrograding back into Aries after being in Taurus in your house of self-worth, self-esteem and money. So the moon is reflecting what's happening now on the 6th. So it's going to be there until around March of next year. And essentially what Uranus does, he's the big shaker. He's the mover and the shaker. He shakes you at the root. And he's going to shake you at the root. Why? Because he's been to the future. He's been to the next part of your journey. And he's seen that it's full of abundance, full of security, full of self-confidence. And he's coming back and he's saying, Aries, you're not going to believe it. I've been to the future and beyond, and I've seen what's in front of you, and it's abundant. And you're looking on, well, thank you very much, that's very interesting, but in the meantime I'm here, and that's there. There's a bit of a gap. How do I bridge that gap? Because I'm looking down at that big abyss in between where I am now and my future abundance, and just saying, hello, 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 show me the money, 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 and there's nothing coming back. So Uranus is saying, don't panic, Aries. I know how to do this. I know how to bridge that gap between where you are and where you're going into your future of abundance. And you're saying, okay, how do you do that? And it's saying, okay, well, the bad news is that I have to shake you up a little bit. And you're thinking, no, I can't cope. I've been shook up. I'm all shook up. I've been shook already. Please don't shook me anymore. But Uranus is saying, I have to do this. I'm going to shake your tree, shake your money tree. And I am going to shake it so that the roots have more space to get more solid and secure, that you get more grounded and you have more space to thrive at the very core level of your abundance. But I'm also going to shake the tree and shake the branches. And what might happen is that some of those bad apples might fall down from those branches, some of the dead wood. And you're saying, what kind of dead wood? What bad apples? Well, unfortunately, it may be people or situations that are in your life right now that are blocking you somehow from meeting your future of abundance. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for it to begin now. Now it's a long journey, but be prepared for it to begin where you change and people suddenly look at you and say, Aries, you've changed. Suddenly you're all about the money. Suddenly you're all about becoming Mr. Big or Miss Thing. I mean, who do you think you are? Don't you go rising your head above the rest of us. You know, we'll have nothing in common if you're not like us. And you think, is that supposed to be a bad thing? You know, is that really supposed to be a bad thing? that I'll have nothing in common with people who don't support me. I'll have nothing in common with people or situations that don't add to my life and bring me towards my future of abundance. I think I'm going to let those bad apples fall. There was nothing sweet about them anyway, just bitter bad apples. Bitter bad apples, let them fall. And so you should, Aries. So like I said, this may be the beginning of seeing some things slowly vibrate out of your life, and not to panic, because it's supposed to be that way, okay? And you'll recognize it. You'll say, oh God, who's this going to be? What situation is it going to be? I'm looking around at my life now. What's going to be the bad apple? You'll know it when you see it. You'll look at it, you'll try to bite into it to see if there's any sweetness to it, and it'll just be bad and bitter, and you'll say, okay, if it gives me that taste of badness and bitterness, then it has to go, because that has been shook from my tree. Yeah. Now, other things that are happening. November 7th, there's a new moon in Scorpio, new beginnings, new things happening when it comes to your power, your long-range vision of your future. Maybe you'll start looking at how to handle your finances a bit better. That could be really good. Getting mastery and control over your finances could be a really good thing. November 8th, Jupiter, that big, lucky, benevolent, big, friendly giant, is moving into Sagittarius, a fellow fire sign, which is great news for you. As this card comes out and you're saying, I could do it a bit of good news. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I hear you, Aries. You could do it a bit of good news. It's true. Now, Jupiter is moving into your 9th house of changing your beliefs, changing your whole mind, changing your perspective, broadening everything out to see things that you've never seen before. So I'd advise you to get your passport ready, get your little travel bag ready and put in your toothbrush and your little travel kit, and have all that ready to go at a moment's notice. Because Aries, you're moving, you're traveling, you're expanding. Luck is opening out for you. There's a whole new perspective, a whole new pathway. And I'll say this, a whole new target. Remember, Sagittarius, the archer. The archer sees something way out into the distance, into the future, and can't quite get there quick enough. So it spots its target and draws back its arrow, lets it fly, and hits the target. This month, what you might find is that great luck comes when you aim for a big dream, when you aim high, aim long, aim far, and shoot for the stars, because that's where your luck is coming from. It marks a great period of optimism for you too, Aries, almost like blind belief. You're not feeling very black and white and practical. Well, here is the data. If I start this project or this job or go into this relationship or move here, then the data says that blah, 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 blah. It's not like that at all. It's you saying, you know what I'd love? You know what I dream of? I don't care how many people have failed. I don't care what the statistics say. I have my eye on the prize, and I'm shooting for that, and I'm going for that, and I'm going to win. And this is where Jupiter is in its full glory, because Jupiter wants people to expand. It wants people to see things they haven't seen before, travel to places they've never been to before. It urges you to go beyond. And while that's uncomfortable sometimes, you get the feeling that it's the best thing for you to do. So like I said, iron your little pajamas and get your travel bag ready, because you are on the move. You're moving up. Mars on November 15th is moving into Pisces, into the 12th house. Now this could be a weird thing that's happening, because what you might find is that your energy could all get a bit slow. Like you're trying to walk in space. Yeah, it could get a bit like that, Aries. And that could be very uncomfortable for you, because you like things to go, 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 go. Come on, let's move it, let's see it happen. But now you're, walking in the 12th house, which is very like that. And yeah, sure, it's one small step for man, but one giant leap for Aries, because what you're going to find as you slow down and get into that slow space of quietness, meditation, privacy, maybe isolating yourself for a little while, you find that all your energy goes into tuning into your deep wisdom and deep intuition. Because in there, it can be very dark, you know. This could be a period too, where in there you finally get to slay the real dragons that are inside you. Because why else would a warrior, the Mars warrior, go into a place of surrender and defeat? I mean, a warrior never willingly goes into a place to put up the white flag and say, I surrender, I'm defeated. No. There's a reason why the warrior is going in there. Mars is putting down his sword and picking up his magic wand, and that's his weapon. And in that darkness, the first thing he's going to do is zap all the things that are in the shadows of your psyche. Maybe nightmares, bad dreams, some very old traumas that might come up this month. And more than that, this is the place where the warrior learns never to give up, never to be defeated, to know that he's never ever alone when he believes in his own power. He is never walking through that valley on his own without any help or assistance. So even though it might feel like that for a little moment as we go through November, where you give up, where you feel that nobody is taking care of you, that the gods aren't listening, that nobody is on your side, so why go on? Why bother doing what you're doing in that relationship, in that career, with this situation? It's at that very point Mars realizes that he can let it all go. He can forgive. He can surrender the old way of doing things so that he can come out of that darkness more powerful, more confident, and fully believing again that he is essentially more than enough in himself, that he is more powerful than he even dared to believe he could be. Okay, so if you find you're feeling a little bit like you want to throw the towel in, that you want to stop doing whatever it is that you're doing, know that this is a journey that you're going on in order to conquer the last of your fears. So take time to rest, take time to sleep. Don't panic if sometimes you go to sleep and there are a few nightmares. This is part of the hero's journey to cleanse, to surrender. And I want to remind you of this. Keep this in your mind if you do go through this period, Aries. There's a very, very famous military strategist, probably the most well-known and most well-respected, a Chinese strategist called Sun Tzu. And he wrote the book, The Art of War. He was fabulous. He really mastered the art of war, as the book suggests. But he said something interesting amidst all how to strategize, blah, blah, blah. He said one interesting thing. He said, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. So he recognized that even in the art of moving forward, the art of battling ahead in life, the art of meeting challenges, the art of conquering your fears, that at some point he has to let go of the fight that was old. He has to let go of who he was in order for him to become something more, to become what he might be. Remember that, Aries. Remember that this month. We're waiting on 4 more cards, Aries. Now, some of the things that are happening. Mercury is going direct in Sagittarius in the 9th house, reconnecting with your spirit. And I think Mars in Pisces in the 12th house is going to be helping that along too. You might find that you go back to an old belief system that once gave you great support, that once really cheered you on, that once empowered you. You might find that some people from foreign cultures or foreign countries, people who have a different belief system to you, or people, very educated people, might be appearing back in your life, and they might bring up the idea that maybe you can go and start education again. You can go and start broadening out your life again. You can go and go on and meet very different people than your usual sort again. But it wants you to reconnect your optimism also. If there was a project, maybe a publishing project, or a vlog or something like that that you plan to do, or a teaching project, being a tutor for somebody, if that's something you thought about in the past, it's probably worth going back and seeing if you can reconnect with that idea. There could be looking at Aries. Now, other things, Venus direct this month, so partnerships, relationships, love is going to be that bit more harmonious, from the 16th onwards. Sun in Sagittarius again, all 9th house stuff connecting you with your spirituality and long travels, distant travel and foreign people. Full moon in Gemini, you're communicating great ideas towards the end of the month. And then Neptune, the dream weaver, going forwards, they're going direct at the end of the month. So it's really this thing, Aries. You're going to face some of your fears and you're going to conquer them. And that's what a huge part of this month is about. Facing your fears, conquer them, and coming out stronger and believing in yourself all over again, so that you get to change what you're aiming at in your life, and that you're able to aim, point, hit the target and run towards it. So it's beautiful, Aries. I'm going to have to start choosing the cards for you here now, Aries, as I pull that out, because we're just waiting on 2 more. And 1 more. Da-da-da. Ooh, your final card. Did I not say you'll be facing your fears this month? Yes, you will be. You will be facing a lot of fears. But as I told you, you'll be conquering them. Now, Aries, let's move over and conquer this reading. Here we go. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. We start off with the King of Pentacles. This is you feeling beginning to feel more solid in your life, more structure coming into your life. You want things to be solid. You want your relationships to be more solid and meaningful, your friendships to be more solid and meaningful. You don't want superficial people or things in your life anymore. And you're owning that, and you're claiming that right to be able to have some solidity in your life, particularly in your financial world, because with the Sun in Scorpio there, it's saying you need a long-range vision for your financial future, and it's going to give you this security, give you this feeling of groundedness that you really want, because that's, as we enter the month, that's what you want. You want to feel more solid, you want to feel more secure, and it's very important that you have this feeling, Aries, because you're going in, as I said, to the 12th house this month, where things have no edges, no corners, no boundaries, no limits, that it's just this great expanse of anything. So we enter the month with you asserting that your 2 feet are on the ground and that you can face whatever challenge comes, that you are in control of this situation. This is the card too that some of you, when we see this card in practical terms, we see somebody who's very good with numbers, figures, math, somebody who has a very practical mind, good business sense. So as we enter the month, some of you could be dealing with issues of tax, auditing, bookkeeping, formulas, trying to get that financial thing together, speaking to professional people, professional financial advisors, accountants, so on like that. In order for you to feel steadier in your life, could be a real estate agent. You want to maybe start looking at where you live, so that you can feel more solid, more secure in everything that you're doing. So this is the linchpin, and I'm glad to see that we're opening the month with you already having the intuitive 8th house, understanding that you need to really be solid now, be solid in your own life. Yeah. Now I could say that somebody who's very instrumental for this month for you could be an earth sign. That's Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo. They seem to have something which gives you that feeling of rootedness, being, diving deep in your roots and feeling solid and secure. So I would listen to what they have to say, because they seem to be very practical, pragmatic people. And for some reason, you need their energy this month to solidly ground you. Now, for some of you, there could be a love situation between you and an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, or a great sense of admiration towards them. This is a 9, which means that some of your beliefs could be changing, your perspective, your ideas could be changing because of the situation that an earth sign brings to you, or because of now feeling more grounded financially, or at least prepared to feel that you're ready to take on the challenge of your finances and getting them solid. And because of that, you feel you're over the worst of some emotional upset. And I said to you, the moon in Taurus might have made you feel some fear about a financial issue, feel worried, feel tense, feel emotional, feel unworthy, unloved, unappreciated because you don't have money, or you're worried about money. But here it says you're over the worst of some issue when it comes to money, feeling solid in your life and feeling that you own your shit. Yeah. So that's a wonderful thing. This is a card of feeling satisfied, celebrating, feeling that you're building a solid foundation and you're very happy about this new solid foundation. Solid foundation. You're building new foundations for your future, and you're making everything more solid in your life, and that is a win for you, Aries. So run with that attitude right from the beginning of the month. Now, here we have the Hermit, a Virgo card. Excuse me. I did say that there is earth influence here, and here's the first one again. This is Virgo. This is a point that you arrive very early on in the month, where you see how you have to dig deep into the 12th house, because for me this is also a very 12th house card, where things are shapeless, where things are formless, where you can't see anything because it's just smoke and darkness. But if you see the Hermit, he's cautious, he's prudent, he's wise, like you this month as we enter the month. And what is he doing when he enters that dark space that we said, Mars going into the 12th house? He uses all his wisdom and he holds up his own light in the dark to see through this. So I'll repeat what I said earlier. If you find that you're going through a bit of a dark night of the soul at some point this month, Aries, know that you don't have to get all defeated about it. You don't have to get all sad about it. What you do have to be is the old warrior who knows exactly what to do in this situation, to release the past so that the future may unfold, releasing the old hurts, releasing the old pain, releasing who you were so that you might be somebody else, What's the phrase? When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. So allow that to happen. There is this tender moment for you. But why is it worth it, Aries? Because look what happens when you come through the other side. When you have that sense of belief in yourself again. 9th house, self-belief. Believing that you're supported by the gods. 9th house, the house of the divinities, the gods. Believing that they have your back and they're expanding your luck. Jupiter in the 9th house. And you don't feel so alone anymore. You find yourself. There could be a moment for some of you here where you have a real epiphany moment, where you suddenly find yourself, where you suddenly find where you were going wrong in your direction, where you suddenly find the missing elements in you, the pieces of the puzzle that were just missing. In this dark space, you find them and you come out as the Queen of Wands. Now, what is a queen? The queen is the mighty attractor, attracting what? Luck, happiness, joy, vitality. that feeling of optimism, that feeling of having it all, that feeling of let all the good things come to me. Let everybody come to me because I am the attractor of all that is good, like Jupiter in the 9th house. You'll see here too, after coming back up from the shadowy place where he was very tempted to give up but didn't, and when he arrived back, that psychic wisdom that helped him defeat the darkness stayed with him and stayed his primary loyal guardian. The wise psychic cat who always looks out into the future. And what do cats do? They see into the night. They have night vision. So that's what you're developing. You're developing your night vision so that if things ever get dark again for you, Aries, you can see through that using your intuition and your psychic skills. She's also a great healer for those who are feeling lost and defeated, and part of this experience too could be very beneficial for others. Aries, sometimes we go through these great trials to come out the other side so that we can share where we've been with other people. So if you are involved in some thing where you get to be a guide or a tutor or a teacher or a wise person for other people, then you'll get to believe in this hero's journey so that you can share that with other people. They will come to you for your wise healing and wise counsel once you come through this. You may end up being a very inspirational and motivational person, you know, inspiring others to get through their problems because you've conquered yours. Very powerful, Aries. Now, mid-month, here we are again, you looking deeply into your own cup. He is firstly examining his own inner self, which we've talked about, so we'll put that explanation aside. But he's also examining how he feels about some of the great traumas that have been happening in his life, some of the great things that have had no foundation and came crumbling down. We said at the very beginning of the month, you're now determined to have more solidity in your life, in everything, your relationships, where you live, your money, your friendships, where you're going in your life. You're nailing it. And you're saying, this is my new system of belief. This is where I'm going now. It's solid. And you're looking back a little bit on the past and saying, how did I keep building dreams on unsolid foundations? And the reason why I felt defeated and said nothing ever turns out right for me, nothing ever works for me, is because when I look back, I see that it wasn't built on anything sure, solid, or steady. Sure, I had great dreams, great ideas, but I didn't quite have all the practical things that I now understand that I need. So it doesn't matter if I failed before, because what I know now is a whole lot more than what I knew then. So I did my very best, and relationships failed, businesses may have failed, careers may have failed, moving somewhere, starting an adventure may have failed. But that's okay. That's one of the things I am going to let go of, because I know that I'm going to get more of something better when I realize and recognize that the failures of the past were because I didn't build the things on a solid foundation. But I know better now. That's what you're saying. I know much better now. I'm getting all the proper advice and I'm doing things right from the ground up, from the roots. Didn't we say Uranus shaking you at the roots so that your roots expand? Before the tree can grow and reach its highest branch into your future of abundance, it's got to have good roots. Yes. Now, new moon in Scorpio in the 8th house. This is your intuition. And what is your intuition going to do? It's going to help you get out of a period of indecision, feeling that you can't move forward in your life. It's everything you've learned. It's all this deep, wise stuff that you're going to learn this month. We also, I forgot to say, have the North Node moving into Cancer. on the, when is it, the 6th of November. So this also begins a journey where you now want more security, more solidity, to believe in yourself more again. And this is where you're getting all your strength from. So your 4th house with the North Node. You have Mars and Pisces in the 12th house, and Neptune going direct in the 12th house, and then New Moon in Scorpio in the 8th house. Water, water everywhere. Water, water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Yeah. Or what was that phrase? Why am I going to say this? That old phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. You can lead a fool to wisdom, but you cannot make him think. So this is the big thing that's happening for you this month, Aries. You are being nourished, you're being given the water of wisdom, so drink it. And it gives you this, it breaks the impasse, it breaks this stagnation, the feeling that you can't make a decision one way or another. Do I do this? Do I do that? If I do that, I'll hurt their feelings. If I go into this relationship, I have a choice between people I love, perhaps. I have a choice between ideas and projects that I want to do. Choices, choices, too many choices, so many choices that I don't know where I'm going. But it's your wisdom that kicks in this month that says, remember, have your target, aim high, aim big, and shoot and focus on one thing and make that one thing rock solid. And that's where you'll win. And that's where you sure will win, because here you become the King of Wands again, the Knight and the King. The King means that you are back. You have the Queen of Wands, you have the King of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. You are royal this month. You are back up. You see, these are the elevated cards. These are the cards, fire cards, Wands, fire, magic, Aries, fire, where you're feeling back up in the most potent part of yourself, the most powerful, the potent, powerful, the more dynamic aspect of yourself, feeling everything that you can be is now possible again, and owning it. Owning some creative thing that you're also doing. One of the big dreams you have, Aries, is to go back and really dig out some great big dream that you had, a creative dream, something that was a big broad dream, an expansive dream, and you might have put it down. Open that up. This is the month where you really begin to open that up and do what? To run with it. Why run with it? Because the Knight wants adventure. He wants to feel alive again. And that's what's happening at the end of the month for you, Aries. It starts to kick off all the hard work you've been doing, Pluto, Saturn in your 10th house, of taking on all these responsibilities in your life and prepared to work and work hard. You've done it. Now the passion and belief comes back this month, where you unhook yourself from the past and now feel that there's so much worth living for, so much more running for. The adventure is only beginning and you're running towards it, absolutely running. And again, 4 corners, something solid in your life. What does it do? It finally kills the last of your fears. The fears will come up. You will be challenged. You may lose some sleep. It may be difficult, but you will conquer that. Now, on a very literal meaning, some of you could be really making a commitment, an absolute solid commitment to expand, as I said, something more solid, because this is a Saturnian card, your career, wanting to make it absolutely rock solid, and you are feeling that happen. But some of you could be really entering into something very powerful with a Capricorn, or somebody who is very serious, very pragmatic, very work-minded. Let's do this thing. I will not take no for an answer. Let's do it. And you are running with them. It's their energy that you are committing to. This is a marriage card. Some of you could be proposing to or getting hitched to a Capricorn, or some of you could really start talking about making plans to make a relationship very serious by Christmas. So is there going to be something sparkly in your Christmas stocking? Maybe, you don't know. But something is rock solid by the time Christmas comes around for you. So it looks like it's going to be a good Christmas. Now, whoa, look at the time, Aries. This has been a long one. This has been a long reading. My readings are always long. I don't know why I sound so surprised at the end. But speaking of doing something different and going on an adventure, Aries, I, like you, I'm also going on a bit of an adventure this month. Because I am doing new videos. I'm going to do videos on Vimeo, and they're in-depth readings. They're called the deep read. So when you watch the general readings, which will always stay here, there's an option for you to go to Vimeo and to see this extra video where you go more in-depth into maybe topics to do with love, relationships, friendships, family, career, money, luck, anything that we can dig up and see what's going on. We go deeper. So I'm doing that. I'm launching my new adventure this month, and I would love you to be part of it. I have it all linked down below. I've kept the price as low as possible because ultimately I want to share this with everybody. That's the real plan here. So I don't want to make something that's ridiculously expensive, because I want you to be always feel that you have access to whatever it is I'm doing, you know. And like I said, if it's something you can do, I would love you to come. See the link down below. Join me and see what lies beneath the month of November for you. And so Aries, on that note, I get very embarrassed advertising things like that, because I don't know why. It's just something maybe like you, I need to get control over. Anyway, nonetheless, it's there. So Aries, I'm going to leave it at that. And if this is the first time seeing my videos, then please subscribe and join me on social media. And sorry, I got cut out there, Aries. But do come back next month and we see how the month unfolds. And in the meantime, Aries, I'm going to leave you with all my love, as always, and a great big kiss from me to you. Mwah. Love you, Aries. Bye.